Hey fam, I'm Josh with eDesk Stories, your home for all the juiciest gossip and the hottest tea. In today's installment, we have an update from a previous story about a woman who wanted to know if it was okay to let her boyfriend fail when it was time to leave for a flight to go on vacation. He did. He overslept, forgot his ID, and blamed his mom who didn't wake him in time for making him late. Please note he's 24 years old. Here's the update.
This is long but asked for. The trip began with him oversleeping and therefore not meeting me at my house to carpool to the airport. Not a heinous act in itself, but something that has happened multiple times on different occasions. Once he finally awoke and met me at the airport, late, he discovered that he did not have his wallet. The most important thing to have when traveling. Wondering how someone could forget something so essential, I waited for him to look for it to no avail. He called his mother, blaming her for rushing him in the morning, which could have been avoided by him being a responsible adult and waking up on time and preparing his things the night before and not taking any accountability. Luckily, she came to his rescue, but not soon enough. He had to rebook his flight and arrived later that day. In the process, he was still asking me what gate number the flight was, while the gate number was displayed on a screenshot that he sent me, instead of using the information that I spoon-fed to him. I organized the entire trip, down to transportation, flight accommodations, and more. I gave him a small ball to carry, and he still dropped it. In the process of dropping that ball, he failed to take accountability for his actions. I should have known how the rest of the trip would go. During the trip, there were multiple instances that solidified the feelings that were already looming. He had outbursts of anger that were followed by childlike behavior and excuses. When confronted, there were only excuses and a lack of accountability, all followed by, "But I'm trying so hard, and what am I doing wrong?" Despite the issue being directly explained, he lost his debit card, and despite my efforts in tracing his steps, calling businesses we visited, and everything, he stormed off ahead of me in a rage, leaving me behind, walking alone on the street. When I explained why that bothered me and was unacceptable, he gave me more excuses and rambled about how he didn't mean for it to happen, but still did it. While walking to different restaurants, he cussed at men who'd even look at me. He would stare them down and almost cause a scene. He misplaced his wallet before dinner and acted in the same rageful manner, cussing, slamming things, throwing items around instead of calmly looking for his wallet. I sat there in disbelief, as this behavior had not been something I had seen before. I told him that this was unattractive and demonstrated a lack of control and emotional maturity. He gave me more excuses. There are probably more examples that I could use, but they're fleeing my mind. It's the night before departure. I'm in tears. It started at the beach. We decided to take a night swim. All was well until he lost his ring in the ocean. Luckily, I was right next to him, so I was able to quickly use my hands and grab it. He got out to put it in the sand. Smart, right? Once we were done, he got upset that I sent his mom a video of him dancing. I walked away because I didn't want to hear it. He then called me back to tell me that he lost his ring in the sand. We look for the ring. And by we, I mean me on my hands and knees and him walking around with a flashlight. I finally find it. We begin to walk back to the room. I say, "Can I ask you something serious? I am beginning to feel like your mother sometimes, keeping track of your things and helping you do damage control." He responds with a lot. How I didn't have to help him, how I don't acknowledge everything he's been doing, like calling Ubers and paying for things, how I'm not like his mom, and how he didn't ask me to do anything. In anger, I tell him, "Fuck you," and walk away. Yes, I know this is unkind, and I did apologize for my behavior later. I walk to the room alone. He begs me to talk when he gets there, and I don't want to. I shower and tell him one thing. This trip has really made me reconsider whether I want to be in the relationship. He goes berserk, begging me please to talk to him, saying that I don't acknowledge all the good he's doing, on and on. I tell him that I don't wish to have the conversation, don't wish to be touched, and want to be left alone. Here, I also apologize for my rude words without making any excuses. He tells me I'm always rude. Prior to dating, I did use harsh words when he showed up to my house unexpectedly and demonstrated other signs of emotional immaturity and ignored my wishes. He begins to try to hug me. I tell him to get off of me. He continues to touch me as I try to lay down in the bed, trying to hug and hold my hand. Here, I break down in tears. I run to the bathroom and begin to sob. I come out as he's continually crying and begging me to talk to him. He begins to raise his voice and make a scene. I run to grab the pull-out bed from the closet to sleep on. He blocks me and pushes the bed, telling me I don't need it. I get increasingly aggravated because I'm being blocked and tell him to move out of my way and leave me alone. He doesn't, and protests by sitting on the pull-out bed. I rip the comforter off of the actual bed and make a bed on the floor. He takes the blanket and pillows from under me, saying he won't let me sleep on the floor. He continues to yell in my ear for me to get up, that he loves me, put everything behind us, while he keeps pulling the pillow that I reclaimed. He has finally left me alone on the floor, leaving for the airport in 3 hours.
So what do you think? We have some strong opinions on this one, but we're interested in hearing your thoughts on the matter. What should she do? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss it. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy stories.